Volume 3, Obeisance. An act that shows deep respect for someone or something. This is the last trilogy as of now. It's about showing gratitude for people, for struggles, hardships, God, gifts, and talents. This is a journey of shifting my heart posture. This is reinforcement of fortitude and growth spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, socially, and financially. Everything bad is welcome, invited, and accepted as a lesson. Experience or blessing in disguise. It becomes a reason to come closer to God, to become better. This is where the conditioning and strengthening begins to unveil. You become more powerful just by reading these three books out loud. You hear your own voice inspire strength in you. You hear your voice remove weaknesses that even you know deep down are completely unnecessary. You begin to become stronger in any adversity that comes your way, and adversity helps you to love. You become hard to kill, especially when it becomes your will. Your endurance, resistance, resilience becomes quite exceptional. You are now a warrior that's not going to give up and fights for honor, fight for love. You learn to become fearful of God out of deep respect. Your life becomes a series of continuous small good actions that merge to become one big action that defeats anything evil or bad that could have convinced you otherwise. You see opposition and you use it as a reason to become better and do better. You are a fierce opponent to the evil and bad that exists and will exist, utterly undefeated. Oblivion. The reason this is the book cover is because of the dogs that died, and they were in the book cover of Kunavin as well. So I had this recreated because it reminds me what I'm fighting for, and that is why this is the book cover. So all that sometimes a man will ever fight for, his dogs and his girl. So that was Obeisance. That was what the trilogy is about. Oblivion as a book. This is what the word means, that which has been washed away. It took a long time to write this book. It's a symbolism of the weaknesses that need to die. It's required for you to be hard to kill moving forward, to kill your will in any regard or aspect of life, to become so hard aspect of life becomes so hard because you refuse to be full of weaknesses. You accept God as your unlimited strength. Your potential keeps growing. Weaknesses you didn't know you had were exposed and become a place where you replace that with the strength that God gives you, that you want for your life. Weaknesses are a contagious infestation that must be removed. They are like a hydra. You cut one head off and more emerge. You swipe it all clean off in one fine swing. They no longer define who you are, but define who you are becoming. That is better. You're learning and applying those lessons so efficiently and effectively that your life becomes exponentially better. I'm not lying or seeing selling you a bunch of fantasy land aspirations. These last three books exist because of the years of hardships. This is where I am and where I'm headed. They were written when I finally decided that nothing can keep me down. I cannot write fantasy poetry that I haven't lived out myself. When you read the words, you yourself will understand. I'm 21 as of now, as I wrote those books. You could be on this road to becoming this good or even better. Understand what I've done and move forward. Your past doesn't matter as much for you to relive it constantly. The pain exists for you to become better. It's washed away. Your path moving forward means to become more productive. You cannot give up. Washing away your bad was just the beginning, not the end all be all. Right. And now Kyra comes into play as well. Kyra, you'll understand exactly what this means. That gold at the bottom, that's reflecting a gold river. The reflection of the gold moon on the river. And here's why. Kyra, a large forested wilderness between two rivers. This is fitting because originally it was ascendentist. Sorry, I don't even know how to pronounce that one. Which means someone who hides pain behind a smile. I thought that title was weak because you don't hide pain behind a smile. You smile through the pain because it's making you better. Kyra had a strong meaning spiritually where the large forested wilderness between rivers is essential. Think about baptism and the theme of the river of life. I do implement a theme for people who want to improve and have parted ways with a loved one, to look forward in growth as you make your way through the wilderness to the other river. The story becomes evident in the later half of the book. Interestingly enough, this was finished in writing after Seraphic. sorry, which was now later turned into kairos, and I'll explain why. In the book, I talk about how life shouldn't be cynical. That's a very bad way to live a life because you become a hamster spinning your own wheel through pain, healing, through pain, then going to healing, healing, and then bad event, then right back to pain. So it's like pain, healing, 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 right back to pain. But sorry, bad event, and then you're back to pain again. So you keep spinning the wheel because nothing else is happening to in your life. It's supposed to be an expedition, a journey full of experiences and encounters that embellish your life. There will be rivers to cross, but you get to those rivers by first going through the large forested wilderness. You crossed one with Darkling. Now you must move forward and on to the next one. Don't underestimate yourself through the flood and storms. You must learn and become better at thriving, not just surviving, onwards and upwards. Then we have Kairos. Kairos, by definition, is like a Greek word. It means a divinely opportune time. That's my personal paraphrasing of the definition. This is the end of the memoirs of a remnant of heaven and hell. It's a mouthful, I know. This book aims to lead to a more hopeful message from the beginning being dark and how it doesn't just stay that way. You need to accept and become the light within by accepting Jesus into your heart. Over the course of the last 7 books, this is the theme of gradual growth and transition, learning to react better regardless of what situation takes place in your life. I end this book with a personal story of what's taking place in my own life, leaving it open-ended for not for another trilogy, but open-ended for the reader to understand more about themselves and their resonation of these books. Most of these books will stand alone, but they would need to be read in sequence to make more sense to the reader. There is no shortcuts. Certain mysteries will be revealed of what the darkness was all along, especially following Isaiah chapter 45 verse 3 from the Bible. I will give you hidden treasures, riches stored in secret places or dark places, so that you may know that I am the Lord, the God of Israel, who summons you by name. The biggest theme is in the lesson and realization of knowing that something bad can happen, but the outcome can be positive. Your reaction to it will define how positive. Nothing can stop you unless you let it. Jesus turned sin into salvation. If we are called to be Christ like, at least for our own lives and the lives of our loved ones, we can make the bad circumstances into the very best by the course of action we choose. I do abandon mental health and everything else that is common in this poetry series. I believe in upholding belief as sacred to yourself personally, so that you believe in things that help you excel. Make it hard to kill your spirit within, so that the spiritual death that happened in the beginning will never happen ever again. It's easy not to be affected by mental health when you don't have a pessimistic view of it. It's hard to adapt into that version of yourself. We are all meant to be warriors of our own lives. The goal is not to be a coward. Facing all the potential victories and defeats with a smile of valiance is what sets us apart. If you've read through all of these books, I would personally love to get in touch with you. And that's all that I have to say to you guys as well. If you read all 9 of these books, my email, my Instagram is open for you guys. And my email and my Instagram and my YouTube, you can leave a huge comment. I promise you I will read it. My Instagram is mentioned in each one of these books, and my email as well. That's the one in bold. And I would want nothing more than for you guys to reach out to me and say that you read all 9 of my books, or even all 4 of my devotionals, either which way. Or even if you read one, reach out to me. Tell me what you thought. I don't care if it's critical either. I'll take your criticism. I'm not that soft.